Okay, I'm going to go slide by slide. This is going to be helping you guys, and I'm going to keep this as a YouTube video so you guys can go back to it ever need to review on what's going on. So to look at the first screen, and I hope you remember all of these different skills, and if not, again, each slide is probably a different standard throughout this Desmos. The first problem, we're going to be making sure we attack the y-intercept first. The y-intercept. The y-intercept is here, and it's this whole axis right here, okay? And I'm going to go to -4 on the y-intercept right there. That's my first point, okay? And I'll erase this so you don't get too confused. Now, I'm going to rise the slope. So my slope is right here. I'm going to do the slope in a different color. So I'm going to go ahead and go rise and run. I'm going to rise 4, run 3. When I say run, I'm going to run to the right. So I'm going to rise 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, run 3. And there's my next point. I can use the straight line tool if I'd like and make a perfect linear function or linear equation. It's the same thing. Linear function or linear equation. All right, you guys, there's times I'm going to have you guys just pause the screen and you guys do it and then check your work. So for this one, I want you to label each part of the line. I like this screen because it makes you know every aspect of it. So what's the y-intercept in this line? What's the slope on this line? And then what's the equation? If you know the y-intercept and the slope, that's all you need to know to type the equation. And every equation starts with y equals, okay? So it's going to be y equals something. This is what I do on the board a lot, right? I go something x, and then something else. My formatting messed up there, but it's okay. So the y-intercept is right here. Where is that at? -1, 2, 3. So -3. The slope, we're going to rise, and I'm going to make this a little thicker here and show you. We're going to rise and run. If you didn't see that, do the same pattern right here. Rise and run. We're going to rise 3, run 2. Rise 3, run 2. All right? So now you have a lot of information here to use for your equation. Remember, the slope goes first. So we're going to put 3 over 2 x. How did I do the fraction? I hit the backslash sign on the keyboard. Now you have 3 over 2x, and then I'm going to do this y-intercept, -3. Okay? All right. You guys do this one on your own. Push pause. Start at 2. When you have -x, that basically means -1x right here, which means -1 over 1. We're going to go down 1 to the right 1. And there's your line. All right, push pause. Go ahead and do this one. We start at 0. That's our y-intercept. We start at 0, and we're going to rise 2. We're going to run 1. All right? All right, label everything out here. Push pause. Y-intercept is right there. What's that, +5? 5, I know it's in a different order there. The slope is going to go down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, -3. Notice the slope is not -3x. And then write it out, -3. Then the x is part of the equation, +5. All right, go ahead and do it on your own. We start at -4, rise 1, run 5. There's your answer. Okay, keep it going. All right, this one, what's the slope? You got to be a detective because look at these here and here. It's a little different. So what's the slope? You got to find out where points are. Is that a point? I think that's a point. All of these are points on the line. You can use any 2 of these points to find the slope. As I look at it, it's rising and running. Rising and running. Rise, run, rise, and run. What is it rising and running? It's rising 10, running 10. Well, 10 over 10 can be reduced to 1 whole. If you put 10 over 10, it's not wrong, but the slope simplified is 1. All right, what is the rate of change? This word rate of change also means slope. It's the same thing. Whenever you see the word rate, it means slope. And this one's a little more challenging, but I like it, okay? You're going to start at 0 again. You can see his points. And maybe you don't even start at 0. Maybe you do these two. That's fine. You could still do that, but you'd have to look at what is this rise and what's the run. I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to rise and I'm going to run. Rise and run, okay? So I'm going to rise 80. Do you guys see that 80? Right here. Rise 80. And I'm going to run 2. That's what this run is, this 2, okay? Can I reduce that? If you put 80 over 2, it's not wrong. But half of 80, or 2 divided into 80, is going to be 40. So really it's going up 40 over 1. Up 40 over 1. All right, this one's a little different too. I know that's a point. I know that origin is a point. It's not always going to be a point, but this is proportional because it goes to the origin. And then I can see these guys. You see these points here? You got to be able to find the points, okay? The points go right in the middle of the graph, right in the middle of the lines. Now, I'm going to rise and run. What am I rising and running? Take a look at it. Rise and run. Excuse me. So I'm going to rise. What's that going to be? 20. I'm going to run. Do you see it? 10. Why is it 10? Because look at the units. It's rising 10. Rise or running 10. Rise 20, run 10. That's my slope. Can this be reduced? You can always cancel out these zeros, right? And it's 2. 2 over 1. 20 over 10 equals 2 over 1. Okay. Now, how long did it take to get to the beach? It's not asking about anything else. We've seen this graph before. We've done a lot over this graph. But how long did it take to get to the beach? Well, first of all, let's talk about how long something happened. So how long did it take? Are we talking about miles? Are we talking about hours? Okay, and hopefully you realize we're talking about hours. How long did something take? We're talking about the time. And how long did it take to get to the beach? Well, you have to understand that we're starting here. That's our start of our trip. We're not at the beach. We finally drive, we drive, and we finally get to the beach here at 5 hours it took. All right. Ooh, this is a good one. All right. So what I want you guys to do is take your time on this. It's kind of tough to see the graphs, but I want you to organize them around so you can look at them. I would like to put these up here. All right, and then try to match them up. Don't just match anything with whatever you like, just guessing here. I want you to take your time and look at it. So I'm going to look at the equations. And the first thing I'm going to look at, guys, and I need you guys all to pay attention. It's super simple. Look at where the line touches the y-intercepts. The y-intercepts, okay? If I hit Control plus, I think it makes it a little larger. So if I was even just going to pull this first graph, where does it touch the y? This is the y-axis. Where does it touch? At -4. Does any equation have a -4 as a y-intercept? That's -3. That's -4. This one does. Okay. This is -4 as well. Okay, these two equations have y-intercepts of -4. That's +3, +5, +3. Okay. Now, this is not the y-intercept. That's the slope. Okay. So we're only going to choose between these two. These two could be the answer. We got to figure out which one it is. Now, look at the slopes. One slope is positive. The other slope is negative. Do you see the negative sign? What kind of line is this? It's a negative line. So right away, before you even look at the points, you know it has a -4 y-intercept and it has a negative slope. And this is your answer. That's going to be your answer. Oh, and if you click them, that makes them bigger. That's huge. Okay, cool. All right, so that's done. What about this one? Where's the y-intercept? At positive 5. Okay. Do we have anything that's going to help us out? Ooh, hit the x. Positive 5. Ooh, I see it right there. Positive 5. Okay. Oops. That's the y-intercept. You don't even need to do anything else because there's no other positive 5s as y-intercepts. All right, you're going to finish this screen for me. The last, actually, there's only one that's a little more challenging because they both have positive 3s. I'm going to take this one down here as y-intercepts. So which graphs have positive 3 as a y-intercept? I'm thinking this one does, positive 3. All right, and what kind of line is this? This line is a positive slope. Positive slope. Is that a positive slope or is that a positive slope? And you should know that's a positive slope. Okay, finish this slide. Match the last, 3 on your own. Let's keep it going. All right, now what is the slope of the table? This is tough because you don't know where the x's and y's are, but I'll let you guys know this is the x here, the input, and the output is the y. So let's go ahead and write this out as 2 points. So pick any 2 points you want. I'm going to pick the first two, 111, 213. And all it wants to know is the slope. How do I know what the slope is, Marusik? You know this. We've been going over this constantly, okay? So slope is y minus y over x minus x. So we're going to do 11 minus 13, 1 minus 2, okay? And then you finish this off, you're going to get negative 2 over negative 1, which equals positive 2. All right, if you need help with this, maybe talk to a partner. We're almost there. We have about 5 more slides left. Let's go, guys. What is the y-intercept? Okay, first step, we've done this a bunch. I think it's going to be pretty simple to see that it's going to be right here. All right, that's at positive 1, right? Positive 1? No, it's not positive 1 because look at your units. What is it going by? It's going by thousands. Do you see that? Not 2,000. It's going by 1,000. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. All right. What is the actual meaning of the y-intercept in this graph? Okay. Well, think about it. What is the actual meaning? What's the actual thing that you've been talking about? So really, it means at 0 months, I had $1,000. So basically, I don't know if you know how savings accounts works, but you have to deposit money into it when you first open it. So I deposited, which means I put money into the account. I deposited $1,000. We'll just put $1,000 into. Oh, this is weird. It won't let me type. It's got a different weird kind of format on it. I deposited $1,000 into the account. Okay. At 0 when I started it. When started. That's all you have to do. It has a weird format on there. Sorry, guys. All right, let's keep it going. What is the full equation? Okay, I need you guys to be able to do this. That means you're taking this to the whole equation. So 111, 213. We're doing the same kind of numbers again, I believe. Very similar. We're going to go ahead and go y minus y over x minus x. Let's not mess this up. So it's 11 minus 13, 1 minus 2. I get negative 2 over negative 1. We know two negatives make a positive. Now, are we good here? This is where we got to figure this out. If you don't know what's going on, pay attention. Try. Attempt this right now. In your brain, engage your brain right now to figure this out because you guys can. You guys are all capable. I'm going to take this coordinate right here. And I know the 1 is an x and the 11 is a y. The 1 is an x, the 11 is a y. Okay? So 11 equals 2 times 1 equals 2. That's what we're just doing. We're reading the sentence here. Now, does that, oh, let me go back. Does 11 equal 2? No. So I have to add something. What do I have to add to make it 11? Once I do that, then I'm good to go. Okay? Y equals 2x plus 9. All right, what is the rate of change? You're going to take out your calculator for this one. All right, I have my calculator. Where did it go? And this is not that difficult. The rate of change is in this graph here. Have your calculator in front of you. And this is your x's. These are your y's. X values and y. So you're going to do y minus y 4 minus 412 over your x and x minus x here. So it's going to be 0 minus 2. So you have negative 12.12 over negative 2. And if you're lost there, we can now put that into fraction. We know it's two negatives are going to divide to equal positive. If you were struggling, you could still put that there, no big deal, divided by negative 2. And look at what my slope is. All right, 0.06. So that's what you would type in there, 0.06. Like 6 cents, right? Now let's keep it going. We're almost done. 2 more slides. I decided to start a savings account at my bank. I put in $4,000 to start, and then I put in $500 every month. Write out an equation to show this situation. Okay, so I put in 4,000 to start. To start, that's my y-intercept. That's the starting point. And then I put in 500 every week. Okay, that's the x. Now they may list it as w because it's week. Don't be scared if you see that. Last one. Write the full equation. Let's go, guys. Push pause and go ahead and solve this last one. You got this. All right. 5 minus 7, 1 minus 2. Negative 2 over negative 1, which equals positive 2. All right. Y equals 2, x, and then something here. All right. So 2x, I'm going to put a 1 here, a 5 here. 5 equals 2. Is that true? Only when I add 3. Only when I add 3. All right, guys, go ahead and finish and complete your homework, and then I'll see you all tomorrow. Good job.